Hi, guys. Good morning, good evening, good day to different countries. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to Girls for STEM. I really do appreciate. It's a privilege, guys, to have you. And thank you so much. And if you're coming here for the first time, guys, make sure you click that subscribe button and also the bell-shaped notification. Remember, we're here to encourage girls to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we're also here to showcase these amazing people, engineers, scientists, technologists who have navigating STEM and are navigating STEM. And at the same time, guys, we're here to connect these girls to the endeavors so that they can have a real feel of technology, so they can see that there's so many people pursuing this career and they can do it as well. So, guys, today we have got very interesting discussion that we're going to have. So the first thing is I have visitors today, guys. You know, I always bring you visitors from different countries. And after that, we have a topic that we're going to discuss: what type of technology is uncomfortable to you. You know, we all have this technology, guys, but some of them is uncomfortable. You are kind of like, is this really normal? So really that people discuss about this. So let's talk about it. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but it's for the good. It's for the good. So thank you so much, guys, for coming. So I'm going to bring Dr. Cole up. Dr. Cole, hope she's ready. Hi, Dr. Cole. Thank you so much for coming. I really, really do appreciate. I know you're a very busy person, and I know you had to spare time to come here and visit us. I really, really do appreciate. So thank you. Thank you so much, and welcome to Girls for STEM. I hope you're not muted. I hope you can hear me clearly.
No, yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
great. Wow. Guys, this is Dr. Cole. So, Dr. Cole, I have a question I would like to ask. I always ask my viewers. So, you are a doctor. How did this STEM start in your life? I'll take you back to where you were like 5 years old. So, what's going on in your life? What's going on? Is this discussion being in STEM being discussed with your parents, or are you hearing it around? Is somebody in medicine? What's going on? The reason why I'm asking about this, it's because most people are wondering how these engineers, scientists, technologists get into STEM. What is so unique? Are they unique? You know, they question, can we do it? What's going on? So what happened? Could you share with my viewers exactly what happened?
Yeah, so I would say it actually started way before I was 5 year old, maybe when I was a little child, 1 or 2 year old. My
Wow.
father is actually an eye surgeon. My mother is a PhD in genetics, human genetics. So
Yes.
probably that's where the seed came from. And I saw what difference they are making and how science actually changes your aptitude in day-to-day life. So I think I was in first grade when the first time my teacher asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I knew that, oh, I want to be a doctor. And my first question to my father was, "What kind of doctor is the hardest?" And he's like, "It's either a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon." And the next day I went and told my teacher that, "Oh, I either want to be a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon."
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
interesting. So kids are curious so early. You know, it's amazing. Wow. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. You're coming from a family of scientists and things like that. That's really amazing. So now, what happens? You start now growing up. What's going on still? You are still focused in that STEM, or what's going on?
So pretty much till I would say we need to choose our majors when we are in our 11th grade or like high school.
Yes.
And when I was in my 10th grade, I was like, probably not. I don't want to do this. It's just too hard. I don't want this difficult life. I'll maybe go into finance or something. Not saying that finance is not hard. It definitely is.
Yes.
But I just wanted a chiller life. I tried actually. I tried to attend a few lectures and classes for that as well, but I knew that was not my calling. Like science is what I needed. Like that
Yes.
made sense to me. So pretty much whole of my life I knew I wanted to be a doctor and what kind of a doctor I wanted to be. So yeah, it had been pretty much known to me.
Wow, that's so interesting. So, Doc Carl, what are you doing right now today?
So right now I'm doing an internal medicine residency. I did my med school in India, and then
Yes,
there's like a large journey towards doing your residency in US. I gave like 4 exams. I did a lot of rotations. I did so much of research. You
yes,
might have heard about Mayo Clinic. I did my research at Mayo Clinic. After that, I did secure this spot, which only 50% of international graduates secure a residency spot in the United States, which I got in here at University of California. So
yes.
now I'm pursuing my postgraduate education in internal medicine.
Wow, congratulations,
Thank you.
congratulations. And
Thank you.
guys, girls, young girls, it starts when they are little. Either
Mhm.
it's the parents that creates that environment for someone to become a scientist, an engineer, or a technologist. But that's why we are here to encourage parents as well as anyone listening, that we have to create that environment in the home for our kids to pursue those careers. And you have seen, I think, most of our viewers, our guests here, they've mentioned something to do with the environment that was created. And look at Dr. Cow where she is. Thank you so much. And she's here in the United States. We are just so privileged to have her on this channel. So, doctor, what are some of the challenges that you've gone through? Because sometimes people think we don't have challenges, even us as scientists and engineers, as we pursue our careers. What type of challenges have you gone through, starting from when you are growing up as a female, also just in this career? What type of challenges have you gone through?
So I would say millions of challenges. Number one, it's super difficult. It's not easy to do it,
Tell
right?
me about
Yeah, you're studying like 10 to 12 hours a day. You need to clear so many exams and you need to be on the top of your game, to
Yeah,
get into something. Once you're in med school, it's again, the grind keeps on going. It's not easy, is
yes,
what I would say. But it's on you how much pleasurable you want to make it. You can be involved in sports, you can do other activities which make it lighter as compared to what it actually is.
yes,
Then another obstacle, which I would say, which I did not face because my family is pretty well educated according to that. But back in India, another obstacle that we face is that girls are not really pushed towards education. They
yes,
are, and I think it's in a lot of other countries as well, not just
yes,
in India, that
right,
they are considered more of homemakers, or they are considered that they don't need to study that much, or their husband will earn for them. I never really faced that obstacle, but a lot of people do that.
mhm,
Then towards my journey to US, it was a huge another obstacle. It's like in India, you just give one exam. If you get a good score, you get into a post graduation course and you do it. But
yes,
here it's like you give 4 different exams, then it's a whole another language. Even though like the school I studied from, I was fluent in English, but
yes,
a lot of people are not generally fluent in English. But in United States, you need to be like totally fluent in English. They
yes,
do have a separate exam for that as well. So, like being in a second language and then in a whole new country, that was another obstacle. But overall, if you really have the passion for science, for medicine, for whatever you want to do, then I think all these obstacles, they're like very small in front of the final destination.
Wow. And it's amazing. I see this drive in you
Mhm.
that I see from engineers, doctors. So what drives you inside you to be pushing to get to this place? Because I'll tell you something. It's not everyone who has this drive. So what really drives you?
What really drives me? I think it's just how much you can outreach to people, how much you can help people. Like I would say for me, like being a doctor, I know like I can make such a huge difference to someone's life by just spending 5 minutes with them, by knowing what's going on with them, by knowing that, oh, something is not okay, and okay, maybe if I give this, or if I get this tested, I'll know what's not okay and I can work on it. And I think your health really plays such a huge part in your life, and just making someone happy, even if it's for a few minutes, it's
Yes.
it's a big thing for me. I think that's what drives me, that okay, no matter how difficult it is, if you see that's the end result, that people get so satisfied with the work you do, I
Yes.
think it's more than what you could want.
Wow, amazing. Guys, Dr. Ko, she's a doctor here in Southern California, and we're just so glad she's here to share how she navigated STEM. And we're here, all of us, to share, how we navigated STEM, engineers, doctors, scientists, technology. And thank you so much. The story is so interesting. So, doctor, what would you say to a girl growing up out there? And remember, right here, me and you would say we have an opportunity to pursue STEM even further, and we have all these resources. But where we're coming from, I was born and raised in Zambia, Africa, and I came here and I became an engineer here in the United States. And of course, you have also got your own journey. So, what would you say to a girl growing up in a country where there are no resources? Including here in the United States, there are places that don't have resources like we have here in Southern California. So what would you say to a girl growing up? How can they pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics?
I think first of all, the thing is that you need to believe in yourself. I have faced failures in my life. There were the last 1 year, I did not get into a course. I had to like go through the whole year again because you cannot apply mid-year. So just believe in yourself. If you think you can do it, then no one can stop you, like literally. I think girls specifically, not disgracing any boys, but girls specifically are so much stronger. Like their willpower is so much stronger that if you tell yourself that, yes, I'm going to do it, then you're going to find a way to do it. Like by hook or crook, you are going to do it. So just believe in yourself and be persistent and keep working for it.
Wow, that's so interesting. Guys, we wanted to know Dr. more, who she is, how she navigated STEM. What a wonderful story. Thank you so much. You are doing an amazing job, and we thank you as just people in medicine, in healthcare, for all that you're doing. I know sometimes patients, we are a headache to you, but you're so patient. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. We really do appreciate. So, Doc, hang in there. We are going to discuss what type of technology is uncomfortable to us later on. So I'm going to bring in Lewis. Lewis is also new, guys, to this channel. So let's listen to Lewis. I'll bring him up. Oh, sorry. I think he might have dropped up. So let's wait for him for a little bit and see if he's here. But if not, we are going to start, guys. So we are here, guys, to discuss what type of technology is uncomfortable. Why are we discussing about this? There's so many types of technology, guys, and some of them is uncomfortable, but it's good for us. And some of it, we're just like, that's a no-no. So, guys, I have Joshana Jones. I have Dr. Carl again. She's coming. And I have Chanda. She's also an engineer from Zambia. So I'll bring them up all at the same time. So let's see what we can discuss. Chanda, Karen, hope you can come up. You are still muted and we can't see you. Hi, Chanda. Hi, Jashan.
Can you see me now?
Hello.
We really appreciate it. And you guys, if you have any YouTube open, just make sure you reduce it up to 0 volume, because that's the one that makes echoes. I had to find out this a wrong way. If you guys have seen my other videos, I was like, guys, what's going on? So guys, thank you so much, Dr. Cole. Again, you are here. And Karen, thank you so much. Joshana Jones, thank you so much. Joshana Jones, she's an engineer, guys. Karen is an engineer as well. So what type of technology, guys, is uncomfortable to you, that you feel uncomfortable? I will start. I always like to start. I'm very controversial.
Okay.
So, guys, so the type of technology that I'm so uncomfortable, but you're going to tell me if it's okay. This is keeping female eggs to use when they grow old, so they can be fertilized. I am uncomfortable, but again, it's a good idea. So the discussion here is not like, oh, you hate it or something, but something that is uncomfortable to you. It doesn't matter what technology we're going to discuss. So that's the one that is uncomfortable to me, guys. Where when you are growing, you can keep your eggs, and then we can use them because maybe you are not married yet or things like that. So what do you think about that, guys? About that one?
I can
I think
start.
okay.
Okay, go ahead. It's okay.
Oh, well, you're a doctor. I'm sure you have a different aspect that I've never thought of.
No,
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, feel free. That's okay. What I think is that is something unnatural. It is not natural, right? The
Okay.
eggs are not in your body; they are outside of your body. Even though there are preservation techniques and everyone can save them, and it's not that well studied about right now. So you can't say like in the future if you do think of using it, then everything would go normally.
Yes,
That's
and
the
it's
thing.
very perfect. We've seen it all, and everybody, it just goes well, and it's very comfortable. The only thing I saw that it has also gone into another version is now that they can also incubate that into another unit, not really in the womb. I was like, wow. Now
Mhm.
ladies don't have to go through that. So that's one that is uncomfortable to me. So I'll give two, guys. So let me go with another one, and then guys, feel free to jump in at the same time. But before we go there, we do have Lewis is back. So let's find out. Lewis, would you mind introducing yourself?
Uh, all right. My name is Lewis Lufundasani Paco. I'm a Zambian, currently in Algeria pursuing civil engineering. I just graduated in July, my undergraduate, and currently I'm pursuing my postgraduate. Uh, I started, yes. So I'm
Wow. That's interesting. Thank you so much for supporting Girls for STEM. You've been, very interested and they're fun. We really do appreciate. And thank you for that introduction. So,
thank you.
Lewis, so how did you start being interested in STEM? And where do you come from? Do you come from Algeria? So, can you just shed that light a little bit? How did you start trying to pursue science, technology, in engineering? How did it start?
Uh, that's an interesting question. Just like I have introduced myself, I'm Zambian. I'm Zambian by nationality, but I came here on a government scholarship in Algeria to pursue engineering, to be specific, civil engineering. So how did I develop the interest of STEM or finding myself in pursuing engineering? I come from a rural area in
Yes,
Zambia, which is
correct.
Chavuma district of northwestern province
Wow.
of Zambia.
Yes.
So and in Chavuma, I think we just as we all know, we become what we see. I was listening to Dr. Curry when she said she got interested in pursuing medicine because the environment where she was in, she was surrounded by people who were already into the medical field. So in Chavuma, I think it being a rural place, I didn't have this opportunity to actually see main doctors or see engineers. And the only motivation I had was my sister, my elder sister, because she's someone who was really dedicated and came to school. She was serious, and she was someone that I looked up to. she's someone, even after school, she always wanted to do medicine. Yeah. So now, having that vision of wanting to become a medical doctor actually drove me in also trying to find out what am I going to do as well. I also, at some point, I wanted to become a medical doctor, but now I said, okay, she's pursuing medicine. She wants to become a medical doctor. What other things can I pursue which I can positively contribute to our communities in Africa, in Zambia, in my district? So basically, I found myself in pursuing STEM because I'm someone who wants to find solutions to the problems that are affecting our communities.
Wow, that's interesting. And guys, parents who are watching this channel, what matters is the environment that you can provide for the kids. Trust me, whether the parents are in the field or they are not, but what they perceive about this career, that's what drives these kids. So hopefully, parents, I hope you can see that, watch this channel and see how these amazing engineers, doctors, scientists, what they go through, how did they become where they are today. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to see if we can continue to our technology. So thank you so much for introducing yourself, Lewis. We really, really do appreciate it. So
Thank you, madam.
Sure. Let's go back to our topic. So the next uncomfortable technology that is here is I've also, I don't know you guys if you're comfortable with the GMO food that we have today. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with GMO because you've seen so many things that are being said. But again, I don't think we can survive with just normal food. But it's a war. So I don't know if you have any comments about that, you guys. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but I don't know if we have an option because we would run out of food if we never tapped into GMO.
I think that most foods that we have now, like humans have in some way interfered with them. You know, like lemons aren't natural. They're a breed of different fruits together. You know, limes are a combination of the citron, the pomelo, and then the mandarin. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes,
It's a
we
little bit
can.
of,
You just have a little bit echo, but we can hear you.
okay, let me bring this down a little bit. So I think most foods that we have are GMOs in some way, but there are some what I would call dangerous GMOs. Have you heard about the seeds that Monsanto was producing that you had to buy new seeds every year? You couldn't save the seeds. They had like a time limit on them.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like every year a farmer has to buy new seeds. You can't replant the seeds and save the seeds, or like what a lot of farmers do is they take the seeds from their current crops sometimes, from the fruits and vegetables they have, and they plant them again for next year. But you know, Monsanto, for a lot of their crops, they want you to buy seeds every year for the farmers, so they were making it impossible for them to save and replant those seeds.
Wow.
That's what I call, that's what I think is a little scary. Like you have to become dependent on someone for these seeds instead of, you know, doing it naturally of what most farmers do is, you know, they use the seeds from their current fruits and vegetables that they have and plant them next year.
Yeah. Wow. That was putting a stamp on the seed. That's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, guys, go ahead. What type of uncomfortable technology do you know?
Then
or feel
another thing,
go ahead.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Just to add on your previous comment for GMOs, I think partly, yeah, they are useful, and partly they could be dangerous as well. For example, if we look at African countries, mainly GMO seeds or crops, their main use, or why they're really modified to suit our environment, is because some areas are drought prone. And so you may get areas where some areas receive more rain than the others, and then the others will have longer dry periods. And so it helps if we have seed that could mature very fast. For example, here in Zambia, we do have a variety of maize seed, of which we know that maize is the main crop that is grown for the country. And in each area, I think the southern part of the country is much more drier, is more prone to droughts than the northern part of the country. And so for planting seasons and the variety of seed that is planted, they tend to be different. For those which are early maturing, they will probably be planted in the southern part of the country, but those which are late maturing will be planted in the northern part of the country. Yeah, so it could be useful as well.
Yes, definitely. It has
there been a problem?
Go ahead.
Has there been a problem with, I know a lot of crops, especially recently, with there's like new disease that are taking out of some of the crops. Like I know with some of the trees in like United States, there are like these new diseases that are taking out like a lot of the trees that produce like nuts, like the almond trees and the pecan trees. So like I know they're trying to make them disease resistant, because I know that's happening with bananas right now. We have like an issue with the bananas where they've gone up, if you've noticed, a little bit, because there's like a banana disease going around that might take out this variety of bananas. Because previously we didn't eat these bananas; we ate a different kind of banana. So they had to come up with a new crop for us to eat that became popularized, that was easy to be commercialized. So I'm just wondering, like, is there like, especially like in Zambia, is there any new diseases that the plants are experiencing maybe?
With fruit, I may not really know per se, but with maize, we've had some, I think the period that we really faced the challenge should be around 2016 or 2017. We did have an outbreak of armyworms that attacked, I think, a variety of farming blocks in Zambia. Then we didn't really have a bumper harvest like we usually have per se. So I think I may not really be sure if GMO or modifying the type of seed that we use is involved. I may lie. Yeah, but we did have an outbreak of armyworms that affected a lot of farmers.
I think a lot of crops that are being grown these days are genetically modified. The thing is, number one, with the growing population, the rate of growth of the crops is not as much as we need to feed the people. So that is the number one thing why we need GMO in the first place, because they can modify it to grow it faster. And then the number two is we cannot afford to lose the whole crop for a season because there are so many stomachs to fill, right? So they need to modify it according to this way also, that it should not get infested with the things that it usually gets infected with. So I think we cannot, it's kind of, we cannot go forward without GMO foods, but it's also like over time we'll modify it so much that it might even be risky for us.
Guys, I remember my research in when I was at school. One of the research in English that I did was to see the effect of GMO on rats. And what I found was really interesting, I would say. When you get a chance, try to look at those. It was really interesting. It scared me. But that was maize to rats. So there's a lot of science going on. And at the same time, we have to understand they're also working on it to make our food as healthy as it can be. We don't know how much they can do that. It's not that as scientists, we are just maybe watching this and just saying, oh, let it go. We are also trying to say, how can we avoid certain things, chemicals, or what are these we are changing?
Any side effects?
Yes, what's the impact? So there are scientists working on that as well. I wish we could have one scientist who can come and explain this, who is in GMO. That would be really interesting. If you are listening out there, please come and explain to people. Would love to know how much,
Yeah.
how much is being done. So guys, well, that was interesting. So go ahead.
Maybe just to make a comment on the same GMOs. I think look at the demand of the population, the growth of our population in the world. I think it will be hard for us to do away or to go back to where we just had our natural foods.
How do
but
we
now
do that?
the
How do
question,
we
the
do
big
that?
question now the big question is, how can we make this food safe for consumption? That's the big question that we should ask ourselves, because so far, of course, as scientists are working around the clock, but we have seen that the side effects, they're outweighing the good, the positives of when it comes to the consumption of GMOs. So this is the question that we should find now as scientists. How are we going to make this food very safe? Of course, it can't maybe as the natural food, but at least which can help, which cannot maybe result into maybe diseases such as cancer or other diseases that can actually now affect the population that we have.
It's very true, but that research takes long. It's not like a one thing. Whatever they change in the DNA, whatever they change, the impact, it's not right away that you can see it right away. It's over time what happens to the cells. I'm not a doctor, but I'm not a scientist, particularly studying on the GMO effects, but it needs time. Sometimes when the FDA or these other, scientists, ventures approve these food, I feel it's not enough time to see the impact, but yeah, that's it. So those were my
Then
points,
in the
guys.
same field of food.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to make another comment. I think the other thing that they're trying to come up with is the growing of meat in the lab.
Yes.
If you've heard of that.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard of it. So, there are so many things that we're trying to do. Go ahead.
I think it's again demand supply. If you have to supply enough and there aren't enough cows or chickens to feed, then you just have to find alternatives.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, guys, those were my points. So let's hear from someone else. What type of technology is uncomfortable to you?
For me, I think I would say something about since we're going very digital now, especially now that we were hit with the coronavirus. I think a lot of sectors have been affected, and a lot of supply chains have been affected as well. And a number of supply chains or systems are becoming more digital than they were before. And well, I think to some extent, I think I saw a documentary that was talking about the installation of chips in human beings just so they could track them, probably know how their body is working, something of that sort, monitoring their health, also using the same chip to have access to, it could be their property, their house or something. To me, that's, I don't know.
Any comment? I have my own comments, guys, but any comment from the guests?
Yeah, I just think in today's world, even if you say that you are a private person and you like your privacy, there's nothing like privacy. someone on the other is always looking at you. So don't
Not at all.
be under that cloud that you are private or you're invisible or anything.
That's right, Doc. We've lost, I think, that privacy. There are so many ways, guys, because that's also another uncomfortable, whereby marketers, they want to know what you like. They want to, in a good way, they want to show you, oh, that thing that you are interested in, we saw you on Facebook, click it, you couldn't find it. We have
Yeah.
it over here. Come and buy it.
Yeah.
But that kind of like, wait a minute, how did you know I was you stalking me? How did you know I wanted that? But is that not good for you? It's uncomfortable. You know, it's just so uncomfortable. Now, let's go back, before we discuss on that one, let's go back to the technology that Karen talked about. She said, you know, a chip embedded in you, or maybe mostly on your clothes. For example, that kind of technology was actually first produced by scientists and technologists trying to support astronauts in space. I'm very passionate about space missions. I work for space missions, space systems. So that technology was first introduced by scientists to make astronauts comfortable in space, to monitor their health, to monitor their heart rate, to monitor their well-being. So they provide that to transmit that information back to Earth to see how they're doing. So that technology now, and it can be used in so different ways. And it's uncomfortable because of other disadvantages, but it can also be a very good technology. And that's also one topic I've been discussing. If you see on my channel, it's going to be a series, because that technology as well is able to help patients in remote areas to monitor them and help them in areas where there is no technology, but you can monitor and quickly detect what's going on or what's wrong with them. So that is a technology that was actually developed to help astronauts. But now it's actually, what can I say? It's like a domino effect. Now, what else can we do with this technology? And that's why you come in, you're saying, yeah. And also now in factories and in the industries, they want to use it to monitor how that person is working. Is the person working? Is the person lazing out? I mean, if you own a company, you want to know if that person is working. What are they doing? Are they seated? So that technology also, oh my God, it's uncomfortable. I agree with you. So I don't know, you guys, your comment, what you think. That was my comment.
Yeah, I think it's uncomfortable, but it's a good technology. It's a good technology to track us. Yeah, to track, to monitor.
When you say to track us, that's uncomfortable.
Oh, you don't want me to use the tracking. Oh, it's of course, like that's how it is going to work. You know, they'll track you, they'll monitor you, wherever you be, and everything. Yeah. So actually, that's what makes it actually more uncomfortable. And but now, you know, look at, I think people are more scared of chips. I understand. Like, people are more scared of chips. People don't want anything to be embedded in them. So I don't know how people are going to be convinced, because anything to do with, you know, maybe cutting or putting anything in them, like, they have different theories. So yeah, but it's a really good technology, which I think we can use going forward, because, you know, technology is progressing, and we can't say we just need to be, okay, we have to do away with this and all that, because having that, I think, can also help you. People can track you. Maybe if you are connected to a certain hospital, they're able to track. Okay, they can monitor you. Let me use monitoring.
That's uncomfortable to me, trust.
Okay, you'll be monitored. Okay, maybe you have doctors. Maybe you, especially if maybe you have a certain condition in you, maybe if you have BP, sugar levels, and all that, it is going to help to monitor you, maybe even when you are not around. The family or the hospital is able
sorry,
to.
Lewis, just to add that so that the thought doesn't go away. That's also how, maybe Dr. Carl can comment, I'm not sure. That's how also that technology was also tested during COVID, actually, to monitor how serious these patients are, and also to see, to protect the healthcare professionals if the disease is deteriorating to a point where this person is just not gonna go through. And to protect our healthcare, we need them. So this technology was also used, and that's uncomfortable, right?
It is kind of, but if you see like people who are diabetics, especially there are like two types of diabetes. One of them is more prone to, uh, for the people, their blood sugars can go very low, and it's always that low blood sugar is much more dangerous than high blood sugar. So there's a technology where you just have a patch on your skin anywhere on your body. It doesn't need to be visible, but it's constantly measuring your blood glucose. And doctors need to know whether you can monitor it or not. If you cannot monitor it, then your blood sugar levels will constantly go to a physician, will go to a doctor, and they will monitor it. And if they see that, oh, it's going low, that you need to stop taking your insulin, or you need to eat something, you need to eat a candy or something. So it's good in one way, but it's not good in one way, that yeah, they cannot track you, that where you are right now. They can only track what's going on with your body. So it has its pros and cons, I would say.
Yeah, continue, Lewis. Sorry for cutting you short. We just wanted to slot in some interesting points there.
Okay, no, actually, I was going the same line, yeah, of like, if this technology actually can be used for, maybe for the start, I can suggest that maybe to be used on patients, those who are diabetic or those who have underlying illnesses, to monitor them even when they're not in hospitals, they're back home. The system at hospitals, they'll be or healthcare, they'll be able to monitor those people to see, just like the doctor has explained. I think that will be okay. But now, if we move from monitoring to tracking, now it becomes more scary. Yeah, so people they'll be scared. Yeah.
Again, it's ethics. As engineers, doctors, we have ethics where we swear to ethics, and where we know we should not cross certain boundaries. But I mean, it's uncomfortable because as human beings, we know, this can be used for me. Suppose it's someone who has run away from another country and they put that chip on him. Oh no, you have diabetes. You think that person is going to agree? He's like, this will now expose me. So, and that's why we're talking about it, guys. It's uncomfortable, and we are trying to see how to convince human beings to say, no, we're just going to use this technology, particularly for this purpose only, and that, even phones, it's the same thing. At first, it was for this purpose only, but now, sales people are using it to track me. When I go on Facebook, I check something, I see myself on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did this to meet? It's uncomfortable. So guys, wow. What type of technology, guys, is uncomfortable to you? What type of technology is uncomfortable?
I think
Quiet.
I think in the same line, I would say something that is similar as well. Robotics and their use and replacing people with robots.
Yes.
I don't know, since the age that we're living in, or the era that we're living in, a lot of digital technology is much more being preferred now than it was before. Say even the numbers of people working in factories, now it's much more preferable to cut down on numbers and probably replace that with robots to do much of the work. And now we've seen that even in healthcare, like Rwanda, for example, they were using robots during this pandemic just so they could monitor people's health in hospitals. It also has its pros and cons as well.
Yes. Wow.
I think it's
And
always like a fine balance, and it's always a fine
Can you hear
line
me?
if it's
yes, yes,
comfortable
yes.
here, uncomfortable here.
Go ahead, doctor.
Yeah, I was saying that I think it's always a fine balance between like being a human and using a technology. I think it's a fine line, and if you cross that line, it becomes uncomfortable. I think it's just as simple as that.
Yeah, I think you are right. It all comes to crossing that thin line, ethics.
Yeah.
No matter what, technology will always have some kind of uncomfort to it. So it's a matter of, the thin line, how much do you want to go overboard? We save files, different files on our systems. We need to trust the people working with our files that they will not share with those files. So it's a lot of again, ethics and a thin line in between. And I think that's all it still come to. But it's interesting. Some of these things, they are not discussed. Very few people talk about it. So that's why we wanted to discuss these guys as uncomfortable technology. And also from discussing this, who knows, it can stem something else that can also resolve some of those uncomfort. And that's how engineers, scientists do. We take where it's uncomfortable and innovate it. And that's how you invent and generate something else. And that's why we're discussing this topic, to bring light to people, to thinkers, scientists who can think, so people are comfortable about this. How else can we change this? And from from our viewers, guys, you are part of this discussion. You can ask any question, please bring any suggestions. We are here to discuss any uncomfortable technology that you have today. So we have Sin. He said, kudos star for showing up on an international platform, inspiring chat from Next Gen, hoping and wishing many more such interactions. Bless. Thank you so much, Sin, for supporting us. We really do appreciate. Okay, so that's Alfeo. He says the use of drones in agriculture activities such as chemical and fertilizer applications is heading towards replacing workers. Can also be used in security patrol. Yeah. Guys, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's something that's related to what I was mentioning before. A lot of work that is being replaced by robots, replacing human beings for robots.
Yeah, it's the same thing because drones will be able to. But again, that's why I think Lewis did mention something like some of the things, there are more positive things on that side than the negative.
Yeah.
If we look at it.
Yeah.
Remember how we used to put fertilizer in plants, guys? You have to bend. You have to go put fertilizer. I did that. My dad was a farmer. He loved farming so much. We planted the seeds, us, After planting seeds, after 2-3 weeks, we go back to go put fertilizer. Guys, I have done everything. I've been exposed to any type of life. I've seen it all. We would plant those, go planting one by one. We dig a hole, we put the seed until we finish. Next time we have to go put fertilizer.
They
It
do
was a
help with
headache, guys.
improving efficiency. Yeah. The use of machines is not something that we can do away with. Of course, it will improve on doing things more efficiently and faster. But again, there has to be a trade-off between the two, because people still have to feed their families, and you can't really replace everyone with robots.
So what are we going to do with this knowledge that we have? We can't just say we can't use the drones because
People will be replaced.
yes, people will be replaced. So what do we want to do with this technology? Just ignore it when we know? Do you want to ask grandmother to go and bend so many hours putting fertilizer? Or do you want to go away? Think of it. So that's some of the challenges we may face, but it's interesting. So I'm going to add one of the technology that I really, maybe you guys, it's fun for you. Now we're gonna go to something funny. Rides. You know how you go rides, they take you around. Oh my God, that technology, I can't comprehend. I can go on a plane, well, space mission is fun, but going on a ride, guys, I am so uncomfortable with that kind of technology, fun technology. I don't know about you guys. Because those rides takes you so high and it brings you down so quick. I can't just deal with it. I don't know about you guys, but
I think it's more about the little things that make you happy. For some people, it's very uncomfortable. They can have nausea, they can throw up or something. But for some people, mostly it's aimed at increasing your adrenaline and increasing the feel good hormones in your brain, so that you can feel good for some time. But it's not the same for everyone. Everyone doesn't feel good with it.
Do you like rides, doctor, or no?
I love rides. I especially wait in line to sit on the first seat of a roller coaster. I love rides.
Oh my goodness. And
Just a little bit.
Up, it shoots you up, it brings you up within few seconds. You don't mind.
Yeah.
No, my goodness.
I have an experience where I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I just wanted to share my experience. I think there was a time that I went with a number of my friends where I was studying from. Yeah. So we got on this pirate ship so it could swing. At first, we didn't think it would swing so high. So we're comfortable at the beginning. But when it really reached the highest point, I was so uncomfortable. I wanted to get off.
Wow. Now, for me, what happened was here in the United States, we went to, I think it's Knott's Berry Farm. Doctor, I think you've been to Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
So we went to Knott's Berry Farm. Our intentions was to take the kids there. I didn't think that, even at all, I didn't plan. So we were in the queue, all the parents with our kids. So we are going there. So we are chatting, and I'm not paying attention. So everybody is going in one queue. So we get there, now they start going on the ride. I'm like, no, me, I didn't say. Then my friend's like, where are you going? No, there's nowhere to go. Just get on the ride. I'm like, no, you can't go back, just get. Oh my goodness. I could not believe it. And I will never do it again. It was so uncomfortable. I cried, I wept, and I was so upset when I got out of that ride. I was so upset with my friends. I just got out and I started walking by myself because I could not take it. It was too much. So now I'm very, very, very cautious. No, guys, if you want to go on a ride, I'm not going there. I still can't. I don't know what to take for me to get on a ride, but kudos to you guys if you can.
No, you should try different rides. You'll find the one which suits you.
I think
Yeah.
so. And it depends.
Yeah.
Maybe the one that goes like this, not the one that goes like this. So maybe that would be. Wow, that was interesting. So, guys, any of you, go ahead.
Maybe okay, on the one of the maybe technologies that we can also look at is maybe the use of supersonic planes. Supersonic planes. I think it's high time that we also worked on them, because it takes, I think, 2 days from Algeria to go to Zambia. So now imagine that distance. Why can't we develop planes that will be safe, of course, but again very fast, where maybe just within hours I can be in States, or I can be in Europe, I can go to Zambia and come back even just within a day. So I think that one also something that we can look into as engineers. Yeah.
I think that one also, some people would say it's uncomfortable because, yes, of course, taking 2 hours to fly from one continent to another, that's a little bit uncomfortable. And the uncomfortness is trusting, will this work? Or it can be it can be a disaster or something like that. So that's the uncomfortness about it. But they are working on it. The only option that's possible is first to get to orbit. So from Earth into orbit, it's within less than 10 minutes. Maybe you can get there. And then to orbit from there on to orbit to the place. So for example, this is Earth. So when you get to orbit, there you can float. It's very easy to float. As you can see, you can just float within few seconds. So that's the one they are trying to see if they can work on it. First you get to orbit, then you float, and then you go down. So 10 minutes floating also, it's very quick, and then another 10 minutes landing to that point where you are going to. So I'm not sure how far they've been researching on that one. I think that would be very interesting. But again, it's the time and change of energy for the human body. How can it react to that kind of change of 10 minutes orbit? But again, then we will require a lot of gear. It's not, or maybe the vehicle that we have to prepare such that it can be so protective. You know how astronauts, they have to wear so many garments on them that protects them from different types of things. Doc is here, she can tell us due to gravity or G's, what happens to your legs, some kind of hypertension, BP, things like that. So we have to think about those scientists, doctors have to really, really research how comfortable is that, such that you can, right away go up, orbit, down within few minutes and get to a place where you're going without issues. And what's the impact of that in the long run?
I think the most important thing in that is, number one, health. Yes.
Yeah.
Your health should not be compromised just because you want to reach somewhere early. And the second thing is the overall safety. Like, there are still spaceships which are flying unmanned, which do, just burst into flames when they are exiting or entering the atmosphere. So once the safety is analyzed, then they can come to the health aspect as well. I just think that.
Wow, yeah, that's really true. So there could be health issues, and also the expense. It will be very expensive we can create that technology now. When is it gonna get cheaper? You can imagine we are just having fun going to space. Virgin Galactic went with the team just recently, and it's very expensive. Only billionaires went there. So when do you think this technology can be available that we can use it? Is it in the next 50 years? That's a good question. So there's just so much to work on, research about our health, technology itself, the units to be used that would really make us comfortable and align with our health. So it's a long way. It would require a lot of thinking. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was agreeing with you what you're saying.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So guys, we have finally come to the end of the show. If you have any technology that's uncomfortable, guys, bring it out. Our viewers, if you have any type of technology that's uncomfortable to you, please bring it out. So we'll give it a few minutes, guys. What type of technology is uncomfortable to you that you see today, or that people are thinking about today, that it's uncomfortable? And also to just discuss a little bit, I don't know if maybe Dr. Carl can comment on this. The other technology, I don't know if it's technology, is maggot. Is this true that maggots sucking on your infected so they use maggots because maggots can really suck the viruses or infection? Is that a true thing? Because someone was telling me they take the maggots and they put them on the infection and they suck all the viruses. I was like, what? Is that even real?
I don't think I've ever heard of that. I have seen a lot of patients who come with maggot infested wounds, but doctors putting it on wounds, no, I really don't think I've heard of that.
So I was like, wow, that would be really be uncomfortable, because I don't know if I can agree if they ask me. So that's what I was saying, like the maggots, they really suck the virus in your blood. I'm like, wow. Anyway, that's a weird one. So let's trash that one. Study about it. Now, guys, thank you so much for coming to Girls for STEM. We really do appreciate you guys coming and spending time here, STEM Hangout. Thank you so much. Other than that, guys, we've come to the end of the show. Hope to see you again, Dr. Carl, Lewis, Karen. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. So if you have anything to say, feel free, guys. Other than that, we've come to the end of the show.
Thank you for having us here. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us here.
Okay, ciao, guys. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again next weekend, guys. Please make sure you come next weekend. We have interesting topics, and just to hang out with these amazing scientists and engineers. Thank you so much, guys, and ciao.
Ciao. Thank you.